2, 1.
Ekipa, posebna epizoda, stvarno posebna, iako smo ovdje imali mega veličine što se tiče sporta i regionalnog i globalnog. Mislim, kad vam dođe Mirko Filipović i Stipe Mirčić, ne možete puno više od toga, ali ovaj put imamo čovjeka koji je dvostruki UFC prvak i najmlađi olimpijski pobjednik u hrvanju u Americi u to doba kad je bio. Imamo sreće što je došao u Zagreb na svjetsko prvenstvo u hrvanju i uspjeli smo ga uhvatiti ovdje na sat vremena barem, minimalno možda i više, tako da mi je čast pozdraviti Hendrija Cejuda, Triple Champa u našem studiju. Triple Champ, welcome to Croatia, bro.
Yeah, thank you Marko, thank you for having me.
No, really, thank you for doing this. We know that you have a tight schedule, but you made it here. And how do you like Croatia?
Oh my
so
God,
far?
I've been all across the world. I've been to 40 different countries, North, South America, and I can honestly say that Croatia's different.
You really?
Yeah, Croatia's different. It's different than all of Europe that I've been to. I feel like there's a big distinction here. People are nice. The food is different. You know, I feel like there's like a little blend of just Latin America a little bit because of the food, and then obviously the people are very hospitable, which has been really, really nice.
So what are you doing here? We know that World Championship in wrestling is here in Zagreb for the past few days, and it lasts till Sunday, right? And first, when I heard that you are coming here, I thought that you are part of American team, but you're not, right? You're just like watching the fights and supporting your guys.
Yeah, so I'm with United World Wrestling, which is they put everything together, they put the event. They're the governing body for wrestling. So I'm a big fan of the sport. So whether an American wins or somebody else from another country wins, I think that is so cool. So it's been fun, man. We've been watching some really, really good wrestling. You know, a lot of people have made a lot of history. North Korea won a world championship.
Greece yesterday, right?
Greece for the first time in history.
For the first time.
So it's been cool to see all these countries come together. Even despite politics, you know, some of these countries could be at war with each other, but you know, it's good to see great competition and clean competition.
You've been to so many world championships in wrestling. What can you tell us about this one? I was, I think, for 2 or 3 days now in arena, and it looks nice, man. And even a lot of people came. I didn't expect that, especially for freestyle wrestling that in this part of the world is not that popular like Greco-Roman. But a lot of people came. What can you say to us about the organization and about the wrestling that is happening here?
Yeah, no, as of right now, the wrestling that's been going on here in Croatia, and I've been to a lot of World Championships, Olympic Games, this has been my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, because there's been so many close matches, and the American winning at the very end against the Russian opponent. You know, watching the first Greek guy win the World Championships in Greece history. I mean, there's so much to what's happened this whole event that I don't know who to give awards to. I don't know who's the wrestler of the event, because they all have separate and different stories that have all became historical.
Yeah, I saw some results. I'm not into freestyle wrestling so much, but I saw that you guys from the States won a lot of medals so far. You have like 2 golds, silver medal. You can win gold also in 97 kilo finale with Snyder in the final. So a lot of good results for American wrestlers. Are you satisfied? What can you say about their performances?
No, for sure. I mean, to be able to get medals out, the medals that we're getting now, to be able to do that, and then obviously we have one in the finals. I mean, that's great for America. You know, the World Championships, you know, 10, 15 years ago was always dominated by the Russians.
Yeah.
The Russians were just pretty much just cleaning everybody.
Yeah.
But everything has changed because a lot of those have dissected to different countries and are actually beating
each other.
Yeah, pretty much beating each other out.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's been one of the biggest changes. But also, like the Asian countries as well.
Japanese are killing.
The Japanese, Kazakhstan, you know, everybody from Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these, Mongolia. I mean, the people who have reached the finals from all these countries, I want to say 70 kilos, had 4, everybody that was on the podium was all from an Asian country, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. I saw you yesterday, you and your coach. Actually, it's your friend more than a coach, captain. He's a really cool guy. I like his style. And I really do. Yeah, he's distinguished, man. You can see him in the arena. You cannot miss him. I like him. So I saw you guys. You were so emotional about cheering for your guys. And okay, in Croatia we like wrestling, but not as much as football or soccer, or basketball or tennis or MMA. Can you explain us what does wrestling mean for you guys in the States? It seems like it's national sport, right?
It's big, man. Wrestling is big in the United States. In comparison to football, basketball.
It's just tradition, or?
Yeah, well, they have wrestling in schools. Mm-hmm. So in pretty much every high school, they have, the majority of all high schools in America, they have wrestling. Mm-hmm. Okay. And it's so cool to be able to see the sport just get bigger and bigger. I mean, you'll go to a state tournament, the states, and, there's 20,000 people. It's just one state, and there's 50 states in the United States.
Crazy.
So it just lets you know, like, where, how much Americans love just competition, I think, in general. Because that's what America is. America, through schools, I mean, they have every sport from softball to baseball to basketball, American football, obviously soccer, was what we call football to you guys. Yeah. Cheerleading, I mean, they have everything under the sun. So, we're fortunate to be part of the United States, to where they have organized sports, and people use that to get to college and to get academics and pretty much to keep kids out of the street.
Yeah, this is actually your story, right? Because I know a lot about you. I know that you came from a poor family. You had difficult situation. I read somewhere that you didn't have your own bed, that actually the guys from Wrestling Association in the States gave you your own bed.
Yeah.
So what does wrestling mean for you? What it taught you about the life and about yourself, really? Because all these fighting sports, I was training boxing, and it teaches you a lot about life and yourself, right?
Yeah, no, it truly does. It's it was a sport that took me out of the ghetto.
Yeah.
My parents came to this country, maybe not the most political way, as immigrants. And, I won the Olympics. Or whatnot at the age of 21, becoming the youngest in history at that time.
Crazy.
And my mother wasn't able to attend the Olympics due to her citizenship status. So I'm a proud American. I'm a very, very proud American, but also I'm very proud of my heritage and what my mom has done for me, being raised by a single parent. So the first time that I arrived at the training center, they gave me my first bed. I was like, it felt weird, man.
How do you feel right now about that? Is this like you're, it's like goosebumps?
No, it's just I've always knew that I would be somebody. I always knew that I was different, even as a kid.
I mean, your brother was a wrestler, right? Quite successful, so he was your role model.
Yeah. So both my brother and I moved to the training center. It just felt weird for us to be separated and not in the same room.
Wow.
And then having our own bed, there's a sink in there. I mean, it was just surreal to us. And these are things that you cherish. You know what I'm saying? Now I got money. Now I got this. Now I got that, and it's cool and whatnot. But I miss sometimes that little bit of that grind, that chip on that shoulder, not having the ability to go somewhere because you don't have money.
Yeah.
So you kind of, in a sick way, you kind of miss it.
Are you proud of yourself? What you became and your origins. It was quite difficult, right?
Yeah, for sure. But I think my chapter is not done. Now I'm a father of 2 kids. I have my little girl who is 3. Her name's America. And then I have my son, he's a boy, and his name is Enzo. So now I eat, sleep, train, and the majority of my time goes to my family. Mm-hmm. I'm a pretty present dad. Once I'm done with work and once I'm done with training, I give all the attention to the kids. Mm-hmm. They miss me. I miss them right now because I've been gone for about a week. And I typically don't like to miss a lot of things, but because it's the World Championships, like, this is something that everybody has to deal with.
It's like a special thing for you.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to do it sometimes.
Yeah, you have to.
We'll talk about your MMA career and where is it at the moment. But for now, I know that after you won your gold medal, you came out of the sport for a couple of years, then you returned, you tried for second round for the Olympics, you didn't made it, and after you won your second belt in UFC, you also quit the sport, you went out and again returned after 3 years. Can we draw some parallels for these two occasions, these two things, or it just happened by coincidence?
No. I think I've always felt like I was, I wasn't necessarily a wrestler. I've always felt like I was more of a competitor.
Okay.
But something that I did learn about myself is I'm more of a conqueror. Like I love to conquer and I move on. Like I don't get too attached to something.
Yeah.
Like once it's accomplished, once the job is done, it's like, what can I do next? And I think I've always been like that. But you don't know until you start to really think about it. Like, why do I do these actions? It's just, what's next? So when I did retire from wrestling the first time, I was 21. I wrote a book.
Yeah, it's crazy, 21 and retired.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't want to come back. And the only reason why, too, is because, dude, I didn't want to go through the grind no more. Like, I was a kid that moved out of high school. My sophomore year, I was 17 years old when I moved out of the house. I had 2 years of high school left. So I finished my 2 years of high school there, living at the Olympic Training Center. And then 2 years after high school, I became the youngest in history at that time. So to me, it was, it meant, a lot of sacrifice. And I knew what it takes to be an Olympic champion. And I wasn't willing to do that again. I was like, no, man, chances of me winning again
are small, right?
Yeah, and then I'm getting all these different sponsorships. I'm being asked to travel to here, to speak here, to be there, and I'm just like, man, I got to strike while the iron's hot. So I made a lot of money through that. I did a memoir with Penguin, which is one of the world's largest publishing companies. My book was a bestseller, and then I ended up writing a second book, Wrestling for Dummies. So I was just,
living life.
Sponsored by Adidas, BMW, Tide, Crest. Like I had everything. I was like, what? Okay, now tell me why am I coming back? And then I ended up coming back a year before the Olympics.
Yeah.
And to try to make that last run to see if I could do it again.
With captain, right? With this coach.
Yeah.
Your coach. Yeah.
And then I ended up making it to the semifinals. And ended up losing to a very, very close match. So, but then now in fighting, it's more of, I've been here before. Once I retired, once I won that second bout, I just wanted to start a family, man. I was like, all right, man, let me understand business and then let me start a family. So it's kind of been like that. It's been because I feel like I've lived like a couple lifetimes in my life, so I wanted to explore and understand more of business, which was the best thing that I could have done for my overall life, but maybe not for my MMA career.
Yeah. How did it feel to be poor and then to get all this money, at one time? It's like, it's nice, right? But I saw a lot of people getting money very quickly and then just, that ruined their lives because, they didn't know how to cope with it and how to respond to this new situation. How did you feel? Because you seem like you're a responsible guy.
Yeah. I think that's when you're really poor, man, because I knew that money runs out. So I never really, I'm not a watch guy. I mean, I like all that nice stuff. I'm not even a car guy. Like, I still don't feel like, I'm a millionaire, but I still don't feel like I've made it.
Yeah.
Like, there's still a lifestyle that I would want. And I'm still in that stage where I'm investing rather than buying things here and there. I own a bunch of duplexes. I'm going to possibly get into the franchise business of acai, bringing acai to my city. And, acai Brazil, because my wife's Brazilian. We've always talked about it. So we're going to probably do a franchise there. And then just do our best to raise our kids, building my dream home. I just purchased, or I'm closing on a lot that I'm buying for just a piece of land to build my house. I'm buying it for $1.3 million.
Wow.
Yeah, like
really?
That's crazy to say, right? I grew up in trailers. I grew up in apartments my whole life, and now I'm buying a piece of land, just the land, for $1.3 million. So I'm stoked, man. I'm excited.
I have a problem. I was also pretty poor when I was little. Yeah, and then I don't have money as you have, but I have some money now, living a good life. And then, but now I'm always afraid that something bad will happen. You know, that it will all go away, or I will get sick, or my wife will get sick, or my child. It's like, you know, this can't be happening to me. Something will happen. This is too good. No, really, it's that kind of feeling. I mean, it's not the same as you. Your situation is much more extreme. But if I was in your place, I would just be like, man, just what the fuck? Just, you know, if everything will be good. Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, I've always, how can I say it? I've always reached for the stars. So even in business, like I've always wanted to make sure that I'm sacrificing to get what I want, to get what I really want. You know, and I think that's part of the dream too, man, is going through the discipline to be able to have that. But I think in my situation, when it comes to that, I think my mom did a good job, man, of raising us. And I think because we live so poor, there's also a scared part of me to go back. You know, when I was at the Olympic Training Center, I had no money, man, so I never went to the movies. Like, little things like that. I never went to a party. I couldn't, like, what do I have? I'm like, how am I going to remember? They told me, hey, you don't have a girlfriend? I'm like, what am I going to buy her? Like, unless she lives at the training center, she's just as broke just as me, you know, maybe I can make her my girlfriend. But I was so loyal to the dream, you know? So I've always been a kid who has always thought, just always dreamt big. So then one of my other projects that I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on doing, you know, a series of inspirational books for kids, but telling true stories from real athletes. You know what I'm saying? Where it's books for like from 6 to 9-year-olds or 10-year-olds for that matter, and just telling the true story and where they came from and things like that. And I feel like every kid needs to read these, because they all need to be told the truth, rather than just, you know, a little tooth fairy or Santa Claus, which is okay. But I think nowadays, man, I think there's too many great stories that people that you want to hear from, and particularly if somebody has a insecurity. You know, I've always been short my whole life. I mean, how many people are probably short but probably have a low self-esteem? You know, I've never been there. Like, you know, I'm short, but I got a spirit of a giant. And I think that's something that you want to convey to the world. So that's my next project is you know, starting children's books, but with real inspirational stories.
Give me a second, Henry. Ekipa, mislim da ne trebamo posebno najavljivati, ali najavit ćemo još jednom, zato što od sutra, zapravo od preksutra, kreću naši reprezentativci u grčko-rimskom stilu. Znači, sutra je Veronika Vilk, znači u srijedu. Zapravo je to danas, jer emitiramo ovaj podcast u srijedu. Tu su Lizatović, Etlinger, Puklavec, Kamenjašić, Kodić, Huklek, Smetko, Koščević, mnogi drugi, zapravo neki od njih su već i odradili, ali ono najbolje tek slijedi na svjetskom prvenstvu u hrvanju. Traje sve do nedjelje 21. Nemojte se zezat, ako ste hrvački fan, dajte se pojaviti u areni, podržite naše isplativo, evo vidit ćete ljude poput njega tamo, poput nekih drugih veličina, vidit ćete vrhunsko hrvanje u areni. I odmah, kako se zove, najava za Germanijak, ovu epizodu, kao što vidite iza Henrya, sponzorira Germanijak, portal koji sportu pristupa ozbiljno i profesionalno. Nije riječ samo o rezultatima, već u kontekstu, analizama i stvarnim pričama iz svijeta sporta od domaće scene pa do velikih europskih događaja. Germanijak donosi ono bitno, pratite ih na Germanijak.hr, link je u opisu videa. You told me before that, you know, you knew how difficult it would be to win a second gold medal. What can you tell us then about Miljan Lopez? He's now here in Croatia. This guy is like a freak, right, of nature.
My God,
People saw him, Lucas saw him in the building he was drying in, whatever. He said that he's like I mean, I won't say gorilla because somebody will get offended. In Croatia we won, but I know the context. But he's not human, man. He's he specimen, right?
Yeah, no, he's a
legend.
He's a legend, but he's the greatest Greco-Roman wrestler of all time.
Right.
I mean, he's like an action figure.
Yeah, like an action figure.
He's like a giant action figure. Like, he looks like everything that you see in an action figure. That's what he looks like. But he's somebody that is special.
How difficult is that? Can you explain us? Because, you know,
he's the first and only. He's the greatest Olympian of all time. like to win the same event 5 times in a row. It ain't swimming where, oh, you got this event, you got this event, you got this event. You get one shot. And every time for 5 Olympics straight, the dude won. And that says a lot about him. And God, he's one of my heroes. He's one of my heroes. I believe he came to my mom's house back when we were in Colorado Springs. I wasn't there. I think I was traveling. But my brother brought him in, and my mom actually had a chance to cook for him. So
really?
Yes, that's pretty cool, man, to know that, Lopez came to our house and, ate with the family, and my mom cooked for him. So that's pretty cool. She talks about all, and not just him, but John Jones as well.
John Jones?
John Jones as well.
I remember the situation when you were training John Jones. Actually, you were training him for the fight with Stipe. And we didn't like it here. The Stipe is Croatian. So at that time, you didn't have a lot of fans here. No, I'm kidding. But at that time, you were not active. It was the first time that Jones and Stipe were supposed to fight. And I remember that time, you were more focused in your coaching career. And a lot of people were saying, man, Henry is maybe the next big thing in coaching, in MMA, because you had some results, you made some changes. Can you talk about that? Yeah, man. So, because I do a lot of breakdowns on the TV or whatnot. I have a little screen where I do breakdowns of things like this, where I'll talk about a certain fight where I think these guys could really use, my knowledge. And John Jones was watching. He was like, hey, man, I've been watching you for about a few months now, like pretty consistently. And John Jones, typically, he's only been to one gym. And he's only trained at one gym, and that's Jackson. Yes. He said, hey, man, I want to learn from you. So he came down to Arizona for 6 days. I had a chance to train John for all those days. And all of a sudden, he just kept coming back. Hey, Henry, I'm coming back again, man. Like 2 weeks later, I'm like, John, you just came. I'm like, yeah, man, but there's still, I feel like these areas like that you tweak, like I still need you there. So then he was able to come back, and we built a relationship with that. And this was, this was right before he fought Cyril Gahn. And then obviously he did what he did. And I did a whole breakdown. I was like, hey, John, this is more likely what's going to happen. Be careful with it, because you're going to end up in this position. When Islam fought Volkanovski the first time, I was like, this is where you want to be careful. Be careful holding too much, because this is what Islam did wrong. Make sure to transition to the head, look for the choke, and then get him. And yeah, sure enough, that happens. John gets in there, and it was a quick fight. It looks so easy. Yeah. It looks like it was fixed, man. So easy that, like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. So then what happened is everything that I said, it pretty much ended up happening. So then once I started coaching John, I just started getting approached by everybody. Demetrius Johnson ended up coming out, my former rival. He came out to train with me on several occasions. Yuri Prohachka. The Czech guy. We like him so much because actually he's from a country nearby. Yeah. Zhang Wei Li. She did her training camp with me when she fought for the world title. Davison Figueiredo. I was able to help him beat Brandon Moreno that second time that they fought where he lost. Or the third time, he came out and was like, hey, I want to learn from you. Please help me do my camp. I did that with Davison where he beat him. The Korean Zombie. It's pretty cool, man. They get everybody from different parts of the world. Chris Cyborg, like the legends of the legends come to learn from a wrestler. That means a lot to me. Yeah. So, who is John Jones? The guy that is crazy on media, or the greatest fighter of all times? Can you tell us from your own perspective? Because I like John Jones. Actually, I think he's the greatest. Actually, I think he's the greatest, no doubt about it. But when you hear all this shit happening, you're like, what the fuck is going on, man? This guy is crazy. He's like crazy. Him and Conor just went, Yeah, no. Who is John Jones? Who is John Jones, right? John Jones is a bad guy trying to be good. And you heard that, he's like good guy trying to be bad, or the opposite. And he's a bad guy trying to be good, right? I think so also, yeah. But at least he's being honest. He's a bad boy. He's a bad boy, but he's also very sincere. You know what I'm saying? Like, he means well. It's just, you get a little bit of alcohol in him or whatever you want to get in him. He's a little different. But I will say something about John Jones that people do not know. When he's in the training room, he is the most humble dude. He is the most humble guy.
that you want to be around. He's very humble. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He'll ask questions because when you do things just based like what he needs to do, he's all eyes and ears. Like very, very humble. Like he's a coach's dream. You're like, man, dude, I wish more kids were like this. Like they're just like, you know, you do as I say and challenge me if you have to. Ask questions. So that's one thing I'll say about John that makes him the most. What makes John Jones good is he's honest because he wants to be the best in the world in that area. You know what I'm saying? He's a very, very honest, and he's a better competitor than he is a fighter.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely. He knows how to win.
Yes.
Yes, he's had close fights, but he knows how to win. He would win it at the very last round or very last second, but he's undefeated for a reason.
Yeah, I remember when he was, talking about getting drunk a week before every fight. Just, he has an excuse. If he loses, he can say, okay, it's about that.
I was drinking?
I was drinking. I remember he almost had no preparation for Alexander Gustafsson. Okay, it was a close fight, but he still beat him. Man, so he's beating top guys, top-notch guys, with, him being like 40% focus on the thing he does. So he's brilliant, man. Nobody can doubt that. And when he fought Stipe, of course, I was cheering for Stipe. I was so surprised, not by the spinning back kick. I expected something like that, but with his wrestling in the first round, he took him down and he almost killed Stipe on the floor. Yeah. And it was like not even close. And Stipe is great wrestler, one of the best in the heavyweight division of all times. Yeah. So Jones just made it look easy, and especially Stipe is a bigger guy than Jones. I mean, he was always. Did that surprise you, the outcome of that fight and how it ended?
No.
I mean, Stipe was already old, I know, and not.
Yeah, no, but even if Stipe was young,
no chance.
John Jones is different, and I told this, and John knows that. And even when John Jones fought Cyril Gane, is it Gane or
Cyril Gane? Yeah.
Gane, yeah. Even when he fought Gane, I'm like, and you get all this is on YouTube, and we're watching video, and we're like, look, John, he already respects you. He just said, oh, I'm fighting the greatest of all time. I'm honored. I says, John, what you have ahead of all these guys is the fact that they respect you, but they respect you a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? He's already said, I'm fighting the greatest of all time. They're really giving you your flowers before you guys even fight. And I'm like, that's a big mistake, and that's where we capitalize.
Yes.
So he was able to do that to Cyril Gane, but when he fought Stipe, and this is something that when he fought Stipe, we're always in communication, particularly in that fight. So I'll send him a message, he'll hear me, and then he'll write. Like he won't send me a message back, but he'll always write. So I'm like, Stipe's, I'm like, pick on him. Pick on Stipe, because Stipe is a nice guy. Put that fear in him a little bit more. So then Stipe says something about his kids, which Stipe is a good guy. He didn't mean that.
Yeah, he didn't mean it.
I'm like, John, grab it, turn it, twist it. Don't talk about my family. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then at the press conference, he was like, hey man, you just made a big mistake. You just talked about my kids. And then Stipe is over here being apologetic. Hey man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way. Da 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 da. But dude, it's just business.
Yes.
It's just business. So these are some of the tricks that you have to play, because I come from the sport of wrestling. And I find every little edge to win. And this was one of the things that we unfortunately had to use against Stipe, dude. Because Stipe is a good dude. Yeah. And I like Stipe. I know Stipe very, very well. But I can also see why. Or you have to understand why too. We got to play that game, because Stipe could also be dangerous. At the heavyweight division, it only takes one punch, and if Stipe catches John Jones with one punch, he could knock him out.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think that Jones will eventually fight on the White House event? Would you like to, when we are talking about this event, this historical thing. Would you like to fight there?
Yeah, sure, of course. I would. Not even the White House, bro. I would just like to fight in front of President Trump.
Yeah. That's why I'm asking. I know that you're close to Trump and you were supporting him and endorsing him in the last elections. And this is crazy stuff, right? In the White House. Yeah. So I see all these guys just, I want to fight him, Conor. Everybody would do anything to fight there.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna make the selection on who they're going to pick. But it's gonna be impressive, man. It's gonna be a great card. It's cool to have a president that loves combat sports, that will go to UFC events, that will go to wrestling events, that will go to any combat event to spend time there and do his thing. So, to me, man, I would just be honored to do that. But we'll see. We'll see what the UFC wants to do.
Yeah.
I'm not their favorite, bro.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm asking also. We were talking before when we were eating here. We can draw some parallels between you and Stipe, right? Because he was unwanted champion from the UFC. If you see the relationship, he had the most wins, the most consecutive wins. He had all more or less all the finishes. So he was attractive. He was a good guy, firefighter, still working as a firefighter. He's a role model. He was actually popular. He had like 3-4 million people on Instagram, and they didn't want him. They wanted Ngannou, right? They were talking how Ngannou is like he hits like Ford Escort and stuff like that. Actually, they were promoting Ngannou, not Stipe. You remember that?
Yeah.
Because they measured his punch, and then Dana White was like, yeah, this guy hits like a Ford Escort. And we were like, what the fuck, man? This is your champion. This should be a role model for our kids, for everybody, and you are pushing some other guy. Okay, I know it's business thing. I'm for free market, so yeah, it's private company. He can do whatever he wants. But when somebody becomes your champion, you're not just downplaying this guy. You're downplaying your own sport, right? So it was the same situation with you. I mean, they didn't want to pay you enough. I remember that. And when you say I'm leaving, they said, okay, go.
Yeah.
They weren't even trying to get you back.
Yeah. So. No, but I get it. I mean, even the reason why I even started a character, the Triple C character, is because, to save the flyweight division. They're about to make that division, it was about to be
They wanted to kill it, right?
Yeah, they wanted to kill it. So, once I beat Demetrius Johnson, Dana White told me, we went out to his office at the UFC PI, and he says, hey, Henry, I'm going to grant you to go up to 135 pounds, but once you go up, you're going to relinquish the bout, we're going to get rid of the division. That was the plan. So then what I said is like, hey, man, why don't we bring TJ Dillashaw down? Let me beat him, and then I'll go up, and then I'll fight for his belt, 'cause I'm about to beat this dude. So then that's pretty much what happened. So I had to start a whole character, and I think he liked that. It was different. But what the fuck? The king of cringe. Because I had to do everything that I had to do to get attention to save the division. So I came out with the snake. Bah! I hit it on the ground. Like, did the whole thing. Came out with the Olympic gold medal. Like, just the whole nine. Just
crazy stuff, man. A little over the top, but I like it. Yeah.
Because it all goes back to promotions. So I ended up beating TJ Dillashaw in 32 seconds. And then I started the whole campaign. Hey, I'm here. This is for the flyweights. I'm here to save this division. Dana White, blah, blah, blah. And then I ended up going up another weight class. And then I was like, all right, man, so now the shtick cannot stop there. Like, I got to continue the character, dude. So then this time I come up with the crown.
Yeah.
I have like my king robe.
Yeah, I remember that. Crazy.
I have my magic hat and I have my wand. So when I would hit the wand, I pulled out Demetrius Johnson, which it was a mouse. And
how did you feel at that moment? I mean, I know that this is not you, right? You were doing that because you wanted to create this character. So.
Yeah, no. I honestly, I kind of like when you're in, you're all in. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no going back. Like, dude, whether you're stung, but you had to. But to me, I was just like, no. I kind of like playing the bad guy role. Like, I think it's fun, dude. And plus, there's a purpose behind it. There's a purpose behind it to still save the division. So again, I was coming out with the wand, boom, pulled out the mouse, boom, hit it again. Who was it? And then I pulled out a snake, which was TJ Dillashaw, whipped it on the ground, and then the last one, I believe when I hit it, I ended up pulling out a magician. I forget what it was. but a rabbit, which was magic Marlon Moraes. So I wanted to show the magic. So it was a rabbit, and I just kicked it. And then I threw it there. And then, dude, people literally legit started, like his team and my team, they almost started fighting. Like, you can see all this stuff on UFC Embedded. It's on YouTube. And like they had to stop Frankie Edgar, my training partner, from fighting because these guys felt disrespected.
Yeah, crazy. But it was
so they're like, dude, it's like, man, this is fucking good, dude. Dana liked it. Dana loved it. And then I ended up, beating Marlon Moraes. And then that same day, Dana White was like, so what's going to happen with the flyweight division? Everybody wants to know. This guy's having so much success. And he's like, guys, the division's saved. The division is here to stay. Like, man, I fell in love with this kid. This kid is able to market, prove wrong that the flyweights are still there. And then the flyweight division was pretty much made. And, that last piece, I did want to be compensated for all my antics and things like that. And I had talked with Dana, and I had asked Dana to give me a raise. And when from what I recall, dude, I remember I told him, I was like, hey, man, I won the second belt. Man, I would love to get a raise, man. Like, this is, like, I'm becoming your star, man, very popular. I'm not saying, give me everything. But I'm like, dude, this is my livelihood. Like, I'm not planning on doing this stuff forever. I'm not a Chuck Liddell. I'm not these guys that cannot stop fighting.
Yeah.
And then I never got the raise, dude. Like, he literally, like, shook hands and we did everything and never got the raise.
If you are honest at the moment, did you exit the sport because you were bluffing, like, or you really honest about it? Because it seemed at the moment, okay, he's maybe bluffing, he'll return like in 3 months when they give him a raise. It wasn't like that, or it was?
No. I mean, it seemed like that, and I can see why. It seemed like that, and I can see why people took it like that. But people would have to get to know me to really understand that. If I was able to let go of wrestling, you don't think I can let go of this shit?
Yeah,
like, you don't think?
No,
easy.
now I know, because you were out for 3 years. I thought that you will return like in 6 months.
No.
So after 6 months, I thought to myself, okay, this guy wasn't bluffing. It was
no, because it was a beauty. It's a beauty to leave on top, man. It's like when a verse.
Just few guys did it, like Lennox Lewis. You can name like 5 of them in the history, right?
Yeah.
It's difficult.
But at the same time, it's.
Khabib did it.
I would have never came back if it wasn't financial. But the same reason why you can't say Khabib is not the greatest of all time. 3 title defenses. Yeah, you left undefeated. The 14 fights in the UFC, you left undefeated, but that's not it. That's not it. To me, he just left undefeated. That's it. Like, maybe Khabib is top 15. He's a good friend of mine. I told him this. It's like if Khabib could have been the greatest of all time, but we just don't know because he never continued.
For you, top 5 of all times.
Who?
For you, MMA fighters of all times, top 5.
Yeah, John Jones, Demetrius Johnson, George St. Pierre, Anderson Silva.
Man, and you.
And I would want to say me, but I would say Randy Couture.
Randy Couture.
Yeah. Those are the top 5.
Another guy that UFC doesn't love.
Yeah.
It's crazy for me because Randy is a fucking legend. We have to love Randy, man.
First 2-division champ
in
UFC history. What he was able to do at his age, started fighting at the age of 33, I believe. So late, beat everybody in the fashion that he could. I mean, age is, like, he was able to reverse time, man. And then became a heavyweight champion of the world. Beat the guy that beat Crow Cop and Gonzaga.
Yes.
Bro, like, Randy needs to be celebrated. If I don't put Randy, then I'd probably put myself there. But
it's crazy how all the things change. Look at these values. People loved Randy. Remember Brian Stan? Also, people loved him because of these values, like family, like, I don't know, his values. And now people are just gone crazy. They love crazy stuff. It's not like before, right? Everything changed.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's for better or for worse, but it's changed, right?
Yeah, but that's what it is, man. And the reality is, and I don't take this stuff personal. Like, when there's new blood going in there, out with the old, in with the new. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the name of the game in anything. Yeah. So I never try to put Dana White or the UFC in any type of pedestal. As a matter of fact, I'm very grateful that they gave me this opportunity.
Of course.
So I don't even want to fight with them. Like, I've gotten into it with Hunter Campbell before. He's pretty much a second in command of the UFC. I was like, dude, guys, I'm not trying to fight with you, man. Like, if you guys are trying to release me, let me go. Just let me know. I'll just retire. Like at least, you know, give me the audacity to, like, I'm not happy either with my last fight. Like, I have a hole in my eye. You know what I'm saying? Like, if my hand gets too close, like, I still have problems with my vision. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, things like that, dude. Like, there's some things that happen that could happen in fight that could really damage you for the rest of your life, dude. And that's something that I wish these promoters would fight so they would understand that. But they're promoters, man. They got to promote, and that's their job.
Yeah, I remember that last fight with Song Yadong, and I remember White's reaction, the post-press conference. You know, he was asked about this eye poke, and he was like, yeah, but you can imagine how many people or fighters get eye poked and, you know, they continue. So people ask him, you know, does he think that you could have continued?
No,
and he said, like, yeah. No,
yeah, but can I tell you something about that? Of course, I'm not surprised with Dana about that. Because he was mad at me that I retired, so he still has that against me.
He's still
there's still a little bit of grudge because he also knows that, and this is according to my manager. My manager said, Dana believed that you could have become the greatest of all time. He's like, he's mad because he knows he's Mexican. That's a market that he was always trying to take over. But even though, I represented the United States, like, he knew that, and I know that, and I understand Dana in that sense too. But at the same time, he has never fought before. Him nor anybody in that damn thing. Unless you fought before, then you know. For 3 months, you can talk to my wife about it, I was still seeing double. Like, the crown molding, like in a house, like it was like this. So there was like two lines. There was a line, the actual crown molding, and then it was coming off like this. So then if I was to look at your feet, there's like 4 feet coming out. So even when I fought Song and the way he hit me, he damaged my nerve. It's like a screen. So the ophthalmologist says, hey, man, you're not going to be normal, at least for another year, man. You're going to have to let your eye legit come back to where, like, abruptly, like, my eye will get red. Like, it'll just turn red, like, if there's anything that happens, because it's still inflamed. So
you still feel it?
Yeah, well, I don't feel it no more. Like, just, like, if you get up close, like right now, like, it's blurry. But this close, so luckily it's only like right here, but like everything else here it's like normal. But these are things that Korean Zombie's a good friend of mine. He sees double, so he called me right away. He's like, hey man, they don't know what they just don't know. Mike was Bisbee the same thing. He was like, I know exactly what you're talking about because it happened to me and I lost my fucking eye. But and I'm just like...
Yeah, but similar stuff happened to Miocic. Remember his fights with DC? And he got eye poked and people were making fun of him. And then he had a layoff like for 1 year. And still he has a problem with his visions. And he now has eyeglasses.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
For more than a year, he had a lot of problems with that. And still, now he has... glasses and his vision is not the same as before. And I recently had an interview with him and I asked him about it and said, yeah, it's better, but so it's like permanently damaged.
Yeah.
And DC poked him. Remember, DC is fighting like this.
Yeah.
DC likes to do it.
Yeah. So, but it happens, man. Like, Korean Zombie had to retire because of that. And I was just like, I remember because he was training at our gym. And I was just like, damn, that fucking sucks to be able to see double. And then it happened to me. I'm like, oh my God, I know what he's talking about. But luckily it wasn't as bad as his, where it literally cost him his career. You know what I'm saying? So I want to leave this sport unscathed. Like, I try to leave as healthy as I possibly can. I got one more fight left. If the UFC wants to give it to me, or if they want to release me, that's going to be up to them. Because that's kind of the conversation that it is now. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to leave the UFC, man. Like, I love those dudes more than they even know. Yeah, I talk a lot of shit, but I also respect my boss. I also respect Dana White, too, because he took this company that was in the hole for $42 million to now it's a multi-billion-dollar company. It's probably worth like $15 billion now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Does, yeah.
So I got to respect it. He's the boss at the end of the day. As an entrepreneur, too, I get it. I wish I would get more. I wish all the fighters would get more. But it is what it is. What am I going to do? I can't do anything but sit there and abide and just do it for legacy.
Yeah.
Fight to be the best in the world.
Yeah, but we are talking about these eye pokes. What happened to new gloves, man? They had new gloves, right? Yeah. They were like this. They had it for a couple of events. Then they realized that nobody's knocking out anybody anymore. And they said, okay, we'll return to, okay, eye pokes are good. What happened with that?
One, I don't think it has to do anything with the...
with gloves?
One, I don't think it has to do anything with the gloves.
No?
Like with the eye poke. If somebody wants to eye poke, they're going to eye poke.
Yeah, they will stretch their fingers,
they're just going to do it.
Yes. But again, one more thing. It's always like, I was at many UFC events, I was escorting a lot of fighters, I was in some fighters, even corners, with Igor Pokrajac, and I know that they're telling one eye poke will reduce the point. Yeah. And it never happens. It never happens. It's just, warning, rush warning, but never happens.
The warnings are already made in the back, but you get another warning when you do it.
Yeah.
It's been particularly for eye pokes. If you fucking poke somebody in the eye, you do it in the fight, that's automatically 1 point. Yes. Like that cost me a lot of money, man. That cost me a lot of money, man, from the referee. So these dudes, it's such a new sport. Like these dudes are a bunch of fucking idiots too. Like all of them, from the referees, and I'm thankful for them too. But they're still
captain in the house.
Oh, we got the greatest combat coach of all time. Look at him,
sir. How are you doing? Yeah, you can go and eat over there and have a nice time, and then we will bring you over here.
We will bring you in if you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky. Give me one more second, Henry.
But what were we talking about right now?
Eye poke.
Yeah, the eye poke. So it's just,
these guys are idiots.
Yeah, these guys. So they warned me. I have everything on tape, which is cool because I always bring a videographer in the back, and he does like all the filming and whatnot. So it's like, all right, man. So it happened in the fight, and you don't reduce a point. But not just that, he pokes me, and then he's like this.
Yeah, yeah.
And the referee doesn't say shit. Yeah. So then I had to call him and confront him, and then I recorded. And then I recorded him live. He didn't know it, but I was like, no, man, if you're going to tell me, tell the rest of the world too, man. So then I just ended up posting it, and he apologized. Like, yeah, I should have taken a point. So that fight, if he would have taken a point, I would have possibly have won, or it would have just been a draw. And that would have been good that we could run it back. But I don't feel like Dana likes me. I really don't. And that's okay. And I understand. I understand a little bit of that grudge, but I still respect him. And you just got to, in with the old. I mean, out with the old, in with the new, and I get what they're trying to do.
Yeah, but a lot of bad refereeing is happening. And it's not terrible. Just, in the cage with guys letting fighters get almost killed. Like this weekend, I don't know, I remember the fight that it was, but it was like 10 blows too much when the guy was already out. And I'm not even talking about the scoring with Saul D'Amato and the guys who don't know what they're doing. And there's one lady, I remember, she's always in Vegas. Yeah. I don't remember, Adelaide Bird, or what the fuck. It's just bad, man. I mean, it's a very sensitive area. These guys should be professionals and should do their jobs better than they do it, because, people are trying to kill each other in the cage. So you have to be responsible. It's not just cleaning streets or cooking food, man. It's a job with a lot of responsibility. I think that this athletic commission should take their job more seriously. I really do. Yeah. But,
hopefully AI hopefully AI, particularly the judging, I think the judging is the worst. These old people, man, that are judging, we're going to look back at this and be like, why did, in 2025, why did we have a bunch of these old people who have never fought before judge these fights?
Yes, like, that's
why?
Right.
And I feel like Dana has the ability or the power to, start a whole new commission where you got to be a former fighter to be able to judge or understand the game or some type of combat experience to understand, what judging is. But look at boxing. Boxing is the worst.
Yeah, boxing is cricket.
Yeah, boxing's the worst, bro. Like the worst. Like Canelo, I watched that fight with him and Terrence Crawford. Canelo probably won maybe 2 rounds.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
And I'm just like, the scorecards just, obviously it was still a shutout, but they had Canelo winning a lot more.
Yeah, it was 115, 113 on 2 judges' scorecards and 116, 112 on 1, I remember. Yeah, but it's crazy. I think that Crawford did better. I would say like it's 8-4 or 9-3, probably even, yeah, I agree. If they could, they would rob Crawford, but they couldn't do it. It would be too obvious, right?
Yeah, for Mexican Independence Day, yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
I mean, there's so many like things that are just, it's unfortunate how the sport is, dude. Like, it's unfortunate. And hopefully AI comes in and just, they clean all that up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about legit AI. You're judging this, you're judging the fight, man, according to all this. And then we don't got to deal with anybody's bullshit. But yet still have a referee.
Yeah, but it's difficult. I know, because in Croatia we have, not in Croatia, on Balkans, we have major promotion now. It's called FNC, it has major events.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's always question, what is damage? You know, it's damage. Now it's all about the damage. The scoring is all about the damage. So somebody thinks damage is like when you cut him. Somebody thinks the damage is when you wrestle and you are on top. Somebody thinks it's just blows, kicks, whatever. So it will always be in some gray areas. So yeah. I'm not optimistic as you. I think that it will always be in the hands of the people because it suits the guys on top, you know, so they can manipulate.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, hopefully there's whatever, man. Hopefully there's some
solution. Yeah. Okay, give me one more second. Henry, ekipa Vindi Isosport, prvi izotonični napitak u Hrvatskoj. Isosport već je desetljećima pouzdan izvor profesionalnih sportaša, upravo zahvaljujući provjerenoj kvaliteti i posebnom sastojku, brzo i učinkovito nadoknađuje minerale i tekućinu izgubljenu tijekom treninga i pomaže tijelu da ostane u ravnoteži, bilo da ste na treningu, utrci, samo u pokretu. Izosport, stvarno legendarni napitak i prefini, evo i Henry ga pije i ja ga pijem, predobar je. Najsigurniji partner za brzu i prirodnu rehidraciju i još imamo, ćemo u 2 bloka jer jednostavno nemamo vremena, skratili smo podcast sa Henry, ne možemo ga držati tu cijeli dan. Ekipa, klinci se vraćaju u klupe, a mi se vraćamo u gym. Motiviraj se za novu sezonu treninga uz Back to Gym akcije u Poleo Sporta. Zapravo ovo je trajalo do prije 2 dana, do 14. rujna, jer će se ova epizoda emitirati nešto naknadno, ali nema veze. Bacite oko na Poleo Sport, pogledajte njihov preveliki izbor i sportske prehrane, odjeće, opreme, sve što vam treba. Ne znam da li su vratili kod uz 10% popusta, podcast 10, provjerite i sami. To je to. Živjeli. So, what do you think about your career at the moment? You said that you have 1 fight left, and if you look at it on the surface, it looks bad since you returned. You have 3 defeats, but if you go deeply into them, it's not that bad, man, because first one with Algi, it was split. I mean, it's not shameful to lose against Aljamain Sterling. Then you had Merab. No, again, he's probably the best guy in the UFC right now, pound for pound. And then you had this situation with Song Yadong. So at the surface, it looks bad, but if you look at him, it's not that bad, man. It could have been like 2-1. We just lose against Merab, so it's not bad, man.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Yeah, no, I
you still have ambitions, or?
Yeah, I do, but there's also a lot of things that I want to do too. I fell in love with business. I like the traveling. I like to come into the UWW World Championship events, things like that. You know, giving back, helping the sport, and not just that though. But you don't want to fight. I don't want to fight with my kids. I don't want to bring that fear into them. Yeah. Like, my kids are not going to be the kids at the fights. Like that's never been my intention. Nor do I want them watching my fights. I just want them to know that Daddy fought and he does this for a living, and that's it. You don't gotta see me beat somebody up, nor do I want them to see me get beat up. You know, I think I want my kids to be kids. I don't want them to have that fear in them at such a young age. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think it's good.
Completely.
I think it's good to feel that, but there's an appointed time for that. So there's just a lot of mixture of things that I've never thought that I'd be competing at this age in anything.
You're 38, right?
I'm 38 now. I thought I'd be done by 29. I wanted to fight the first time I fought Demetrius Johnson, I wanted to defeat him, beat him, and it was, I believe I fought him at 29. This is my goal, just beat Demetrius Johnson and just retire. Like I came, I saw, I conquered. Like later, guys, I just leave. But, you know, that's not life either. You can have something planned, but the reality is when you have that competitive spirit and you still want to go, you go.
Yeah. We talked about wrestling, and I asked you before, people expected that you will wrestle more in your matches, not use boxing so much. But I know that you were actually also boxing, in amateur boxing, in like 2010, 11. So when I saw you first when you arrived in UFC, then things happened very quickly. In few fights, you were already a contender and fighting for a title. I saw your style, and I didn't know at that time that you were boxing before. And when I saw you punch, I thought to myself, man, this guy boxed, you can tell. He's not like stiff as the other wrestlers. Yeah. But it happens to a lot of wrestlers. For example, Yoel Romero, you know, he actually never wrestled in his UFC career. He just, depending on his punches. Then you have guys like Jacare, who were Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu masters, and they also fell in love with their hands. So can you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, no, I boxed for 3 years after I retired. So even though I retired from wrestling at the age of 21, I took those 3 years to still compete. But my goal was to go to the Olympics in boxing.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. You remember I told you I'm a conqueror? Like that's what I wanted to do, because I wanted something different. I wanted a new task, and I've always been like that. But then I noticed that boxing was just, especially at my weight class, one, I needed better training partners, better coaches, and then, you know, maybe give myself a chance to do it. Because in boxing, they have the Olympic trials like a year before the Olympics, so it doesn't help me. Now you're taking a year away from me, where in wrestling, you know, you compete 2 months before the Olympic Games.
Yes.
Maybe 3. So you get all that time to make the Olympic team and then get prepared for the Olympic Games. So that wasn't it for me. So I ended up coming back to wrestling and then doing MMA. But the boxing was my first love, I guess. Like watching it on TV, I was like, man, I want to box someday.
Yeah.
Like this stuff is cool. These guys are winning. You know, it's cool to call yourself a champion. You know, and so I did that. So it's the reason why. Like at the same time, if I'm gonna wrestle in all these matches, then I might as well go back to wrestling.
Yeah.
I don't want to be boring. You know, you won't see a boring fight from me.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's fair. That's fair. One more interesting topic is wrestling today in MMA sports. I saw this discussion online on YouTube. A lot of YouTubers, well, some of the YouTubers were saying that American wrestling is not the best platform at the moment for MMA. These guys from Dagestan took over. And if you see Chimaev, if you see Makachev, if you see Khabib before, somebody met up. Yeah, it's true on some part. Can you tell us about that and your thoughts about that?
No, it's just a wave. It's just a transition.
It's just a wave.
Yeah, it's just a wave.
It's just
like because how are you going to discount Randy Couture, myself, Daniel Cormier, John Jones, Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje, anybody and everybody who has been Stipe Miocic? Yeah. Like, how are you going to say that when American wrestling is still the best in the world for fighting? For freestyle, yeah, sure, but not even, man. Like America is even taking over Russia too. It's just a wave as of right now, you know, and that's all it is, dude. Like it's just a phase of fad. But no, folk start wrestling. They teach you top control, how to control somebody from top, and then obviously from bottom how to get up. You know, so the Dagestanis, Khabib, they came and they took it from American style wrestling. Yeah, you know, he learned a lot of that stuff from Daniel Cormier, because Khabib was not always like that. You know, he had 27 takedowns against Rafael Dos Anjos. If it was Dagestani, I mean, if he knew the control at then, he only had to take him down one time and beat him up to a pulp. Yeah. He learned it in America. So to me, no. the greatest wrestling is proven by numbers. It is American style wrestling. Real American freestyle.
Real American. Okay, you stand behind your country. That's cool, guy.
Yeah. No, but I just stand behind I stand behind the numbers. It's not even my country, but I stand behind the numbers. Right now, I will agree. The people from the Caucasus, but it's still wrestling, which is cool. So people still know it. As a matter of fact, I'm proud that other guys from other parts of the world are becoming champions. Finally.
Yeah. What do you think about the two divisions that you were in with Pantoja and Merab? These guys look untouchable at the moment, right? It's crazy how they're dominant, especially Merab. Merab is just killing it. And when he appeared when I saw him first, I didn't think that he will go so high and be so successful. To be honest. Well, but I was wrong, man.
Yeah.
He's such a...
So was I.
He's also, right?
Yeah.
He's a machine, man.
Yeah.
He doesn't get tired. That's crazy. And a little bit suspicious, but it's crazy. And his style is like killing the will in his opponents. Just after a while, they're just, what the fuck is going on? We cannot beat this guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's special, man. It's his conditioning. It's his discipline. That's what makes Merab special. He's able to know this pace. When you're here, he'll bring it here, but he'll keep it here the whole time.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
This is why you don't see knockouts or anything spectacular from him, because he don't know how.
Yes.
He doesn't have that explosive power, but he knows his threshold.
Yes.
And when you're here, he'll take it here and he'll keep it here and he'll rise it just a little bit where you're still drowning.
You're right.
So he's able to do that very, very well. And on top of that, with the wrestling, that's what makes Merab different.
And about Pantoja? What do you think about him?
Yeah, no, Pantoja's a scrapper. Pantoja was another guy that I used to...
I like Pantoja very much. I like his style.
He's a scrapper, man. Like I think he's got an easier path than Merab.
Definitely.
You know, I think there's a lot of guys in there too at flyweight that could potentially beat him. But he's using his grappling. He wrestles too. He's at ATT. But to go back to Merab, Merab's got a tough fight against Corey Sandhagen. I think Corey's going to beat him.
You think so?
Yeah. I think if Corey just relaxes and he's able to get on his feet and is able to have that conditioning for 5 rounds, Corey could legit beat him. I think people are overlooking Corey Sandhagen.
Yeah, he's talented. He's quick. He has quick combinations. I like him very much. I would like him to beat Merab, but I don't think so, man. Yeah. Because Merab always wins, whatever.
But if Merab does beat him, Merab needs to go up 245 pounds. Yeah. He needs to stop with that. Volkanovski beat me. He killed me.
Yes.
Like, dude, that's not a champion.
But
man.
It's crazy. Then
it's like push the
Aljo will have to return to Bantam, right? Because they will again be in the same division. And actually, Aljo is doing great in featherweight.
45. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, Aljo's doing really, really good. He could. I think
one guy that I didn't think that will make it so.
No, I knew it. I knew that he would have.
Knew?
Yeah, because he was a big 35er, and the way he grapples and the way he wrestles is very aggressive. I could see it.
But overall, I didn't think that he will be a champion ever. I remember that he was knocked down.
Marlon Moraes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's so crazy, it was knee, right?
It was a knee.
I remember it was one of the most brutal knockouts I ever saw in UFC, man. Yeah. And after that, man, he made it. He did great. Yes. Yeah. You have a podcast with Kamaru.
I do.
I watch it very often. I watched it yesterday. You had an episode about Crawford and Canelo, right?
Yeah.
You're recording from your room, probably hotel room.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I wish I would have known I would probably recorded here, man.
Yeah.
Fun.
Next time, man.
Yeah.
Next time. I like it. I like the combinations because you don't agree, guys, with about a lot of things. You have different opinions. That's cool. I think it brings a lot of good vibes in that podcast. And how do you like podcasting, and what does it mean for you?
Oh no, it's good. It's good because one, you stay relevant, but two, you're able to educate the fans on just different perspectives. You know, a different viewpoint, like where they got to think about, oh man, he's got so much power. It's not, like it's not just power. That's a big risk that you're taking if somebody gets hit with power, but you can't base on somebody winning just on that. You know, we'll talk about Francis Ngannou and the Stipe Miocic won. You know, with all that power that Francis had, Stipe was able to fatigue him and break him and beat him.
Yeah.
You know, so it just we have the ability to give the fans an insight on how MMA and mixed martial arts is and how it works. You know, while two competitors, two legends who have respectfully have done some amazing things in combat sports.
Yeah. But how you two guys ended up together and doing that podcast? It's a crazy combination, right?
Yeah, well, I had a podcast with Mike Tyson for a couple years. So we did like close to about 50 episodes.
How was that, man, with Mike?
Oh,
I like
dude,
Mike.
it was,
it was like a roller coaster, right?
Yeah, you want Mike high.
He was smoking so much weed at that time, I remember.
No, but he still does, but he needs that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if not,
he was bad guy and then he became good guy, you know, smoking weed. He just became spiritual, right?
Yeah, he just became more in tune with.
Yes, in tune with
with
his pigeons, right?
He's just mellowed out because he needs to be mellowed out. Mike Tyson's more of a philosopher now, but he still has that switch.
Yeah, he has a switch definitely.
Yeah, so he's a nice guy or not, but he still has that switch. But at the same time, it's like Mike is. Mike is Mike, dude. You just never know, dude. So there's a lot of unpredictability with him.
Yeah, a lot of.
You know, you don't know who was gonna wake up or if he was gonna show up. You know, but we were there.
Something like John Jones, right? Crazy guys. How do you feel about bare knuckle? All these freak shows and freak fight and this
I wouldn't do it, but I like it.
You wouldn't do it?
I wouldn't do it. No.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, you don't have to do it. I feel bad when I see all these ex-UFC fighters, even champions, man, do it, and it feels. I feel bad about it because they deserve better.
Yeah, but if they're gonna offer a lot of money, then I would do it. But other than that, I don't think I wouldn't want to touch it. But I like it. What I don't like, I'm not a fan of power slap.
No,
I think that's so stupid.
That's so stupid, man.
It's like
this is like.
All right, man. You want to make it? You want to get famous? Can you take these guys are gonna go through CTE?
Yes.
And then it's not going to be a good look when somebody dies or something happens from brain trauma. Like, dude, that thing's done. That's one thing that I will say that I don't like. I just don't like it.
When I see Paige Van Zandt do it, I was like, no, you cannot do it. You cannot do it. Please don't do it.
But then again, it all goes back to she wants attention. She doesn't have to do it. It's just it all goes back to attention.
Man.
You know, I can't become champion, so I got to do something to just stay relevant. That's my personal 2 cents.
Miloš Janicic, the popular guy from Balkan area, he's actually from Montenegro. He fights also here, but he also fights in American promotion. Sinke, how is it called?
Dirty boxing.
Yeah, dirty boxing, but the promotion is X. It's Mike Perry.
Dirty boxing.
DBX, yeah. It's like John Jones is the owner, and Mike Perry is commentating, and they have like mixed rules. So it's boxing, but they can use elbows and they can do ground and pound, just not lay on you, but from upstairs, something like that.
From up top,
and actually from up top, yeah. And actually, I like it. It's pretty nice. You have all these crazy things, but no.
Yeah, you know what? I've never. So is it like Greco-Roman wrestling? Like you can take them down, or if they fall, you could just get on top of them?
Actually, I'm not sure. I didn't even know that they can do ground and pound until last match. Then now somebody was grounding somebody else. So it's like mixed rules.
Yeah, I think this shit.
Pound from the legs, they are not allowed to go down ground and pound. So if you knocks him down, and he's.
But can you take him down, for example? No, right?
No.
Just if you knock him down, then you can finish him like from the top.
Yeah.
So but you have all these like all these mixtures now and all this crazy stuff like Jake Paul will fight I think Gervonta Davis or now I don't know Anthony Joshua, or it's crazy. We're living in like simulation, like Joe Rogan says, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like Gervonta Davis, after this fight, he's gonna retire.
Yeah.
And he lost his last fight. It's boxing's so dirty. Lamont Roach beat him, but that's what it is, dude. Like, it makes me sick, but whatever, dude. I think Jake Paul's done a good job of bringing attention to boxing.
Yeah.
You know, and I appreciate that. But
Coach, you want to come? Please, for a second.
Let's go, baby. Get him
Let's
in
go,
there.
baby.
Get him in there. What's
Eric
up?
Albertson, the captain, is here.
How are you?
Honored. Please, over here.
Kakose.
Kakose, very good. Coach,
You might want to come here, dude.
I already told you I like your style, man.
Oh, thank you.
It's really nice, really nice. Do you do it by yourself, or you have somebody to do it for you? You know,
a fashionista.
Yeah, do you have some fashion guru or something like that, or not?
Well, I'm inspired by Philip Plein. You know, he's got.
Oh yeah, I know who is he. Yeah.
I was just in Paris at his store, and I saw some really cool stuff.
Yeah, it's expensive stuff, right?
Henry's got some gear sometimes that he gifts me sometimes for my birthday. I had a really nice jacket, shirts, pants, and.
So what do you say about his style? You know, he's like more plain guy, right?
Today he is.
Today he is.
Today he's playing.
Yeah, but when he was Triple C, the crazy guy, you know, then he was like a little bit more on your side.
Gold
right?
snakeskin blazer.
Yes, I remember.
Snakeskin shoes. Olympic gold medal on his belt.
Yes.
All we see is gold, baby.
Yeah. So, Coach, how do you like it in Croatia? You came here for the wrestling championship. So how do you like it so far, and how do you like the wrestling in arena and all together?
I love it. I love Croatia. I love the Balkans. I love the people. I love the culture.
Nice.
I was here for the World Championships before, like 20 years ago. And
you were? Yeah,
and this is before the fame and before even fighting. And, you know, a young soldier in the military.
Yeah, you were a soldier, right?
And we were here for the military world championships, and I'll tell you what, everybody still asks me to this day, you've been around the world, where's the best place? And I always say Zagreb, Croatia.
Wow.
And I never knew if I was right, because I was like, you know, back then, I was young, no money. How did I have such a good time? And now I'm here, and, you know, everything's different. You're older, more successful, and it's the same, man. This place is so much fun.
Yeah.
The culture, the food, the beautiful people. So, yeah.
Yeah, and about wrestling, you guys had so much success on this championship. I already spoke with Henry. You have like 2 golds already, 1 silver. Today, I think you're fighting for another gold. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff from American wrestlers.
Yeah, like Henry was saying, it's American handcuff, not no Dagestani handcuff.
Okay,
for you
so
to
you
believe
are
that,
on the same page with
we
him.
need to bring you to America. Because
Okay.
I could pull up Kevin Jackson when he was in UFC 4, taking down people and grabbing the wrist control. That comes from American wrestling.
Yeah.
People want to think American wrestling is not as good as Dagestani wrestling. Well, what happened last night? What happened last night when Trent Hidley, his first show at the Olympics, down 10-1, comes back and wins 13-9.
Yes, crazy stuff.
So that's what American wrestling is about. We insist, persist, and we never give up. We don't get tired, we get hungry. You want to talk about American wrestling versus Dagestani wrestling? You saw it last night. We're on top of the world again.
Okay, sir. You're so serious about it. But I like it.
No, we're serious about it because you're talking about our blood, our passion.
Yeah.
Well, our whole life's dedicated to this.
Yeah.
And somebody else come and try to take our name, our techniques.
Yeah.
Don't work like that.
It doesn't work like that.
It don't work like that. UFC got you guys believing this Dagestani wrestling.
Yes, it did. You're right. Yes, it did.
Oh, no, it ain't. You know why? Those guys, actually, all of them are training with like Olympic gold medalists in Dagestan. You know what our guys are doing? We're giving you guys our guys that took second in state. Demetrius Johnson took second in state. He won 11 world titles. T.J. Dillashaw never was an All-American in college. He was an NCAA. He was a UFC champion. Dominic Cruz. I don't even know if he made it to state in Arizona. He was UFC. That's not even the level of. That's like a blue belt compared to black belts when you care what Dagestanis are coming into the UFC. We're not sending our best. And when we do, Henry Cejudo, Ben Askren, Daniel Cormier, even at the age of 30-something, these guys are champs. Where are those Dagestani champs? Where are they at? And we're about to find out. We're about to find out with Islam.
Well, or Islam, yeah, or Chimaev. Well, maybe they will.
Chimaev's from Chechnya.
Yeah, but it's the same.
It's the same, but not if you ask them, because I've been asking.
No. I didn't say that this is the same country. I said it about the style. It's same as Merab. It's the same style of wrestling, you know. But no, I agree with you.
They took even like Smuva Yasasatiev. You know, when you ask about Dagestani Chechnya said, no, he's from he's from Chechnya, and we're huge fans of Buvayas, the greatest of all time. He's the GOAT. You know, so.
Yes. Coach, you were also a wrestler, right?
Yes, I wrestled.
I asked the same question to Henry because we were talking about the World Championship. What does wrestling mean to you? What it taught you about the life and about yourself? Because it's a game changer, right? If you see all these athletes on the championship, I was walking around the city and saw all these guys, wrestlers, man. They are like beasts, man. It makes a beast out of you, not just physically, but psychologically, right? It makes you like a warrior, like a soldier.
Modern day gladiators.
Yes.
The wrestlers are modern day gladiators. Blood, that's what we drink for breakfast. So, I mean, there's no other sport that's as intense as wrestling, and that's why wrestling is the most feared sport in MMA.
Yes.
You could just say the word wrestling, and it means warrior, gladiator, black belt.
Ba-da-ba.
But in reality, it's true. But to go back, I coach in Brazil. All they have to say is wrestling. But if you said this guy's a jiu-jitsu, you're fighting a jiu-jitsu, you know what we're going to ask? What's his belt?
Yeah.
Well, he's a blue belt. Well, I'm going to smash him. But they don't do that in wrestling. They just ask if he's he's a wrestler? I don't want nothing. They don't even ask the belt. He could be a white belt in wrestling. We have plenty of white belts in wrestling that's in the UFC. And they're very successful. The black belts and the red belts are the guys that you're talking about right now with the champ status. But just wrestling overall, just saying the word wrestler means black belt to them. Black belt, gladiator, warrior. And that's what wrestling is.
You have your own gym in Arizona, right? Fight Ready?
Pitbull Brothers in Brazil.
Yeah, and you still working in Arizona or not? In Fight Ready
when
gym?
Henry's in camp. I went to Arizona State, So
when you teach people how to do MMA, you teach them, what is your philosophy? Is like wrestling first, then striking and the rest, or how do you combine that?
Yeah, you know, I'd like to dictate probably 65% wrestling.
65%?
For training for most people that don't come from wrestling. It's the way to combine the flow of striking into wrestling, into finishing them on the ground.
Okay.
You know, I was just in a camp. I came in kind of late, and the coach said, I said, what's the game plan? He said, we're going to do a little bit of striking, a little bit of MMA, or excuse me, a little bit of striking, a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of jiu-jitsu, get back on the feet. I'm going to go, this is for the fight? And he said, yes, the fight, we're going to do a little bit of wrestling. I said, well, hold on. Ain't no little bit of wrestling. Once you do wrestling, I dictate where the fight is.
Yeah.
And I dictate I'm going to finish this fight. I'm not taking you down to let you back up so I can strike again, because I'm taking you down to end it. That's what wrestling does. It ends fights as well, just in a different way. It's not a knockout punch. It can be a knockout punch from ground and pound, but it's going to be on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if they do happen to get up, most likely by the second round, because it's going to stand on their feet, then you start using your fakes to knock them out. So wrestling is the vehicle to finish fights. That's it. Wrestling's the vehicle to finish fights. I don't like this. We're going to do a little bit of wrestling. You're disrespecting wrestling. You're disrespecting me as a coach. I take you down. You're not getting back. If you get back up, I did something wrong. I should be finishing the fight. That's my new coaching philosophy.
I like it, man.
I love it.
I like it. But a lot of people are coming from kickboxing nowadays and just learning how to defend the takedowns and maybe how to get up. Yeah, so these trends, like I spoke with Henry, are just changing, like waves. There are coming waves of new fighters. Then again, wrestlers come, and then again, kickboxers or boxers. There was a phase when jiu-jitsu was, and I remember a few guys were just killing it for a moment. So it's still a young sport. It's evolving, right?
Yeah, well, some people are, I think some of the people at the top are trying to go backwards instead of evolve, go back to just striking, getting rid of a lot of wrestlers, but it's hard.
It ain't happening, huh?
Well, it has happened. It's just that they have to let one wrestler in, and if this wrestler's any good, he's going to cut through everybody, because if there's one thing I learned about fighters, is they really don't train wrestling unless there's another fighter on the other side of the cage. That comes from wrestling. So if there's no wrestlers in the weight class, they're not going to train a lot of wrestling. It's all striking. Once one gets through, a.k.a. Bo Nickel, somebody like that, or an Ankalov, who really doesn't even come from wrestling, but they use wrestling, they just cut through everybody because nobody's used to it. They're going to, oh, he's a wrestler, now I'll train my 8 weeks for him. It don't work like that. You got to be training now, 65% throughout the week. In my opinion, you should be doing blocks of wrestling, anywhere from 2 weeks to a month of pure wrestling. Get that base up, and then go back to striking. See how better you are.
Before the Mera fight, did you guys really split, or it was just fucking around and making everybody, you know, it was a joke or real stuff?
We got you asking.
Yeah, yes. That's why I'm asking. Yeah, that's why I'm asking. Man, that video seemed real to me. Really, I thought, man, it was real because, you know, I keep track of his career for a long time, and he was saying, you know, have to get rid of some guys. We became too much of a friends, you know. I thought, man, this is real. And then,
So
when after that, I thought, okay, this was a joke.
I'll never forget somebody asked me.
So
before it came out, I had forgot. Somebody came up. Damn. I was like, what? What are you talking about? You ain't had, I go, I'm always Team Cejudo. What are you talking about? Even if I wasn't Team Cejudo, I'm Team Cejudo. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just thinking about that this weekend. I was just like, I don't want to say that name, but there's some people that switch teams in the USA, and I was just like, how come their old team isn't here, Zahid? I'm just like, where are they? Like, why aren't they here supporting him? It's like, you coached him for 20-something years or 10, 15 years. I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, here's here. We're from Arizona. So we're here, part of Team USA, but we're cheering for Zahid. Zahid was in Arizona, but he left. You know, he went to Oklahoma State. But shit, we're here. We're here cheering for him, you know?
But what he told in that message and what was his explanation, I think it makes a lot of sense because I saw it. I saw when, you know, a fighter and a coach, they go in this relationship that is too friendly, and, you know, I think that, you know, the coach should always be above the fighter and can tell him what to do, and this guy have to apply. So I think that what he said makes a lot of sense. Maybe you got too close. I mean, that was good explanation for me. It made sense for me. So yeah, that's why
sometimes happens. Sometimes you bring somebody else in that you could be like a liaison, go through them, and sometimes they get motivated more by some new fresh face.
Like in football, in soccer, you keep track. You know, when something is wrong with the team, they don't change the guys who is playing. They just say new coach, man, and that's it. It's cruel. It's cruel, but it's happening.
Yeah, I mean, we at the Pitbull Brothers down in Brazil, we just brought a new coach called Jumbo in. He hasn't been with us for like 10, 15 years. He was from another team. He came in, and it was like a breath of motivation and fresh air. It was like, he's saying everything we're saying, but our guys are going to listen to him more because he's been hearing us saying it for 10 years, kind of like a parent with a kid. Like, they're not going to listen to the parent, but then they listen to the coach.
Yeah.
In this instance, they're not listening to the coach. They listen to the assistant because he's new. Whatever it is,
Yes.
there's various reasons why.
Yeah, psychology. I mean, I understand it. Yeah.
We're trying to be the best down in Brazil with the Pitbull Brothers. So if we need to bring in another coach, that's what we do. You know, we're all we see is gold. Broad Street Global, the ultimate financial champions, right here. Check that out. Boom! I got a house down there.
Oh
so
man, I love it.
I'm bringing in the best. I'm bringing the best fighters in the world down there, and we're just doing whatever it takes to get to the top. So if it means bringing in a new coach, getting rid of one, you know, that happens in this game.
That needs to happen.
No, it has to be done. But Marko, thank you, man. We appreciate it.
I know that we have to.
Helen's about to compete right now.
Yeah, I know. We have
brother.
to end it. It's okay. One last question. Do you guys want to meet Crow Cup or not? I arrange it. If you come to his practice, he said hello to Henry, and he appreciates him very much. So if you have time, it's arranged. You can
Definitely. He's a Croatian legend.
Yeah.
Pioneer. Right kick, hospital, left kick, cemetery.
Right.
We got to see that. Henry's got a good right kick himself.
Yeah,
so maybe they can exchange some information.
Yeah, I hope we will arrange it. If you want it,
I
Crow Cup said they are more than welcome to come on the practice. It's at 6 p.m. every day, so you guys are welcomed. And he says
6
hello.
p.m. every day is right during the finals, though.
Yeah, but he is Crow Cup, man. He's not changing his term for anybody. Well, we'll arrange something. Maybe tomorrow, women.
Maybe why doesn't he come to the wrestling?
Yeah, I will try.
That's it.
Okay.
Let him talk to us.
Coach.
We'll get him to go. Come to the wrestling.
Thank you so much.
Marko, thank you for
Champ.
having us.
Yeah, it was a great pleasure to talk to you, Triple Champ, and of course for you. Ekipa, hvala i vama što ste pratili podcast Inkubator. Bacite oko na sve linkove. Zaboravio sam i Kregatin, imate 10% popusta uz kod podcast Inkubator. Vidimo se. Živjeli.